Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I love when new guests find me. Kudos to Maddie. I'm going to give her the kudos, Abdias. But this is Abdias Alexandre. He is the big dog at Centric Realty Services. And it's funny, I ran into Maddie at an event and we were talking. And so I love to have new faces. I love to hear other people, entrepreneurs, what's going on in their world. And so I am excited to have you. Welcome, my friend. How you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. My name is Abdias Alexandre. I'm the broker of Centric Realty. It's a small company here in Central Florida of 95 agents and staff.
Yeah. 95 is not small, my friend.
Well, we're growing. We a lot bigger than we were when we started 6 years ago, but we're still growing.
What made you start?
Well, it started like this, right? As I was producing in my old brokerage, and I've only been with one other broker before I opened my own. I was looking for a different place to kind of expand my wing to grow, and I began to interview different brokerages to see what they offer and etc. And I pretty much met with all of them, but I just couldn't find a place where I would want to be at. So I'm like, okay, like I have to create the place that I wanted to work out, the environment, the type of people I want around me, the team that I want. I have to create it. And that's what we set out to do. And we start the Centric family. And it's been wonderful ever since.
So I'm glad you brought up culture, because that's what you were looking for. You wanted to create something where you felt good. And I think that's where a lot of brokerages struggle, is culture. And they want to be able to provide things, but then everybody kind of gets caught up in the dollar and they forget the foundation is the culture. Right. What are some of the things that you wanted to see that you have implemented in your brokerage as far as culture goes, things that were important to you to make sure that your agents had access to or felt good about?
Well, of course, the technology, the support and all, but most importantly is the people. I wanted to be excited about going to the office. I know as real estate agents, we don't go to the office often, but I wanted that. I wanted to go to the office Monday to Friday, get my work done, meet with my clients. But I wanted to feel good about coming to the office, be excited about the people that I'm going to spend the day with, that I work with next, side by side. I wanted to be able to, talk to an agents that are doing well and they're not standoffish. They're willing to help. They're willing to pour into you, and overall good people. Like, what we do is very hard, and I wanted the place that I go to work to be easy, to be a place that I want to feel excited. Oh, I want to, if sort of when you have a conversation with somebody the day before and you can't wait, the next day to continue it and stuff. I wanted to be that excited about coming to the office. And I'm like, I couldn't find it. I took a lot of tours, but I couldn't find it. I'm like, okay, I have to build the place that I wanted to work out, hire the people that I wanted, the people who share the same ideals as me, leave the ego behind, and just a sense of collaborative effort every time you come to the office and stuff. And
so cool. I think having that kind of home feel, that want to be excited feel, it's what a lot of agents want. So one of the struggles that we're having, and I want to ask you about it, one of the struggles I hear brokers talking about, team leads, is that their agents are sort of in this analysis paralysis. They're not participating. They're not going to the education classes. They're not going to the office, wherever that might be, even when they're having brokerage meetings. How do you combat that? What do you do to create an environment specifically with your agents? Do you do Zooms? Do you do a combination of Zooms and in office? I mean, what does that look like at your brokerage?
We do a combination of both. So we have every Monday at 11 o'clock, everyone knows it's Monday morning meeting on Zoom. And then after that, I have a class called Real Estate Fundamentals that I do for newer agents. It's an 8 weeks process every Monday right after the Zoom meeting, where each week I tackle a different side of real estate. The first 2 weeks, we're talking about how to work with a buyer. How do you meet a stranger and turn that stranger into a customer, a client, and then take it from there and make it a long-term, referral partner. So I go over working with buyers for 2 weeks, and then I go over real estate financing, prospecting, working with sellers. So it's an 8 weeks program we created for to make sure the agents have the best level of knowledge to go out there and feel confident to offer their services as a realtor and be able to answer questions and then feel confident enough to work with and provide value. So we do that every single Monday. And then whenever we have any big news, any changes, like with the NAR settlement, those I do in person because I want to open it up for people to ask questions. So we have like in-person classes when big news or big changes happening like that. So it's a combination of both. And of course, I try to get a poll as far as what time and day and time that would work best for the whole team before I set it up. So you kind of have to work with people where they're at.
It sounds like you pour into your agents. And I think a lot of agents are feeling there's a lot of fluidity right now in the market. Agents are looking at other brokerages. They're unhappy for whatever reason. And so I think they're looking for brokerages that kind of create that, because a lot of them still, I mean, I've taught classes on it and they still, sorry about the buffering, no idea what that is. They still don't know how to talk about a BBA. So share with the audience what you did as the broker on the buyer broker agreement.
So, and it's actually, we took a month to actually go with about what's going on, what are the changes, what must we do, and I go over all the forms that we have to use now, different forms we have to use, and go line by line, explain it, open it up for questions. So we took a month to explain it and to show them exactly how to fill it up and open for questions. The association actually provided good tools of Q&A. And I think when I printed, it was over 10 pages. I went over each and every one of them to make sure everyone thoroughly understand it, because it's our new reality. So yeah, I make sure that, everyone knows. And we have our own in-house transactions coordinator anyway that kind of write the documents that agents use on a daily basis. So not only they know,
it's so important. And again, excuse the buffering. I think Helene has decided to show up at my house. But I think it's so important because I think a lot of the agents in general are still struggling with how to show their value and know their value, and to have a broker who is willing to continue to share with them and pour into them about that. Super important. I mean, I have agents that come to me that absolutely have no idea how to present, none whatsoever. And of course I say, go back to your broker. And they said, I've tried, but they've got all of these other things going on. And so I encourage you all to really take a look at your brokerage. For me, culture is everything. So the way that you describe it is such a beautiful thing. It really is.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to add to our brokerage model is not, we don't take agents in just to have our numbers up. We actually want agents to be successful, because we don't have a model where there's a subscription fee, there's a monthly fee, sign up fee. We only able to generate income when an agent closes a deal. So we do our best to really pour into our agents to make sure they are successful, because that's the only way that we are going to become successful. So all of our time, resources, and attention goes towards growing our agents. And
what do you think the number one challenge is for an agent in this market? And then how are you helping the agents overcome it? I mean, I definitely see listings are staying a little bit longer on the market. The interest rates are coming down, but still the buyers are not coming off the fence. How do you help your agents with that?
So it's usually goes to confidence, and lack of confidence comes from lack of knowledge. So it's all about teaching. This is a normal market. This is not 2021, 2020, 2021, 2022, where you put a property in the market and within a couple hours it's sold. You actually, that's the reality of real estate. It takes time. for you to sell a property. It takes effort. You know, that's how it was pre-COVID. So trying to remind them how, you know, this market is actually kind of normal. You know, it takes a couple months for a property.
What's your vision for your 1 year, for your company, 1 year and 5 years?
Okay, 1 year, we actually expanding right now. We're expanding the office, getting some more square footage, and we building media rooms. We're building 3 media studios inside of the office, so that way we can push a lot more content, a lot more information for potential buyers and sellers in the market. So that's what we're doing, you know, within the next 6 months to a year, and hopefully we could see our team grow. 5 years, I want us to have a good market share in Central Florida, and then expand to other cities outside of Central Florida.
You know, I love when I ask that question and somebody actually answers it. So kudos to you. You know, it's hard. A lot of times you're just in the moment and you're just thinking about what's next. How do I deal with this transaction or this agent? And so I think being able to lead a team and lead a brokerage, it's super important to kind of know where your vision is. All right. So as we wrap up, I always like to ask a personal question. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, it's not too crazy. I feel like leadership and relationships are important to you. Mm-hmm. That's my sense when I hear you speaking, which is a beautiful thing. When I say the word hero to you, who is the first person that comes to mind?
My parents.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Because from a big family, a family of 7, 4 brothers, 3 brothers and 4 sisters, and you know, we grew up with very little resources, but the sacrifices that both of my parents made to put all of us in position to have a better life that they did, it's inspiring, and I hope one day I'm able to advance it and then provide a better life for my future kids and grandkids. So you know, my parents, and they continue to pour into us, and so it's inspiring. My parents definitely are my heroes.
I love that. All right, my friend, thank you for sharing that. Tell everybody the best way they can find you, how they can reach you, how they can learn more about Centric Realty Services.
So if you're an agent out there want to join the Centric family, you can send us a DM, Centric Realty Orlando, or you can call me 407-421-9391. And let's start a conversation to see if Centric is a place for you.
What a joy to have you on. You know, you never know when you're meeting someone. This is our first meeting. And of course, you're dealing with buffered Ted, so bear with me. But
that's all right.
My audience is used to that, though. It sometimes happens. Spectrum, you got to love them.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're going to get. And what I love about this discussion is your humility and your obvious desire to pour into other people. And that is definitely, you can see it and hear it in your voice. That is a real thing that you believe and feel. And so I think that's beautiful. And you should get big kudos for that. And I think it's a great thing to see in leadership in general, but definitely in the real estate world. So I'm very excited. I want you to come back on. I want you all to reach out to Abdias. He is obviously a very friendly and open guy, and I think it would be worth your time to give him a shout. Of course, if you're buying or selling, you definitely want to talk to him.
Call me. And if you want a recommendation for a good restaurant in Central Florida, I'm a foodie. I got you also. So
I love it. You've been a joy. Thank you so much. All right, this is Abdias Alexandre. He's with Centric. He is the broker owner at Centric Realty Services. What a joy to have you on, my friend. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Ted.
Get involved and do something with your brokerage. If your broker isn't pouring into you, I suggest that you find a new broker or at least see what's out there. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.